All right. I'm pretty happy with that. Okay guys, we're at the back of the 2019 4Runner here, and I gotta say I'm a little embarrassed. I bought these for my wife last Christmas, and it's 7 months later. I found them in the closet. I kind of hope she forgot about them, so this will be kind of a surprise again. Hopefully she's not stewing about it and just hasn't told me. Anyway, this is just going to be a quick install video because this doesn't come with instructions. Little confusing just looking at the parts, but when you study the diagrams on the Amazon page, you can kind of figure it out. So I'm just going to go through this real quick just so you can kind of see how it goes in if you're interested in buying these. And so all this stuff she has in the back here, you know, there's the back seat. Of course, you recognize that. She has a net right here, and you know, she keeps her get home bag. There's a battery jumper there. There's a recovery strap. There's a shovel back under there. She has a couple extra backpacks just in case she wants to throw stuff in. There's some rain gear. All the tools are right here. Of course, they're not going to go up there because that's super heavy, and there's some extra tools there. But there's some other stuff back there. There's a compressor, and that might be too heavy to put up there as well. But you know, she's got a bunch of stuff in here, a bunch of recovery stuff, bunch of flat fix stuff, and some of that stuff, you know, we can get up here and get out of here. So, you know, when it's time to put groceries or gear in or whatever back here, this will be better. So hopefully we can use these, put these to good use here. So let's get started here. So the parts it comes with is two of these panels. They both have a little bit of a bend in them right there toward the back, and the bend, of course, goes like this bend that bends in at the bottom goes on this left side, and it'll just make sense when you put it up here. Now where these actually mount is you have to take this thing out. There's a screw inside there. We'll have to take that out as well, and it looks like we're gonna have to get rid of this thing that we pull over. You know, if you have suitcases or whatever back here and you want to cover it up so people can't see inside, we're gonna have to get rid of that. Now on one hand, this is pretty dark right here, and with these decals she has on the side right here and right here, you know, pretty cool. But that blocks a lot of people looking in, and also with these, with gear on them, you really can't see much out these windows if you're driving, so I don't mind covering these windows up. I don't think it's like a safety hazard. Here's the rest of the hardware. It comes with two brackets, and these two brackets go together on one side. This and this goes, actually I don't know if this one or this one goes on which side, but these basically tie into these and then hold the upper part. Then there's a bunch of parts, a bunch of nice screws, and you will need a hex drive. We'll find out what size it is here. Okay, so it looks like you'll need a 5mm hex drive and then a 10mm for the little nuts. And maybe a slot screwdriver to pop stuff off. You also need a Phillips to back some of the screws out. Okay, this thing, just rotate it and it pops out. Looks like there's a Phillips inside there. Okay. Plus you'll need a 10mm for this. Now we're going to take this out. Okay, let's see what's behind this. There's a little slot in the bottom you can use to pop this out. And sure enough, there's a little 10mm there. Okay. It does have a little slot, or a Phillips head on it if you want to use that. Okay, so you know you're getting rid of your clothes hanger there. You can't hang clothes anymore. You won't be able to have this little tie down point back here, which I don't think we ever used. And we won't be able to cover our cargo with the cargo cover anymore. But the thing about the cargo cover is, unless everything's kind of below this level, it works fine. But if you start stacking stuff up here, then it doesn't work. So we'll just kind of throw a little blanket back here. We already keep a couple kind of blankets because we live in cold Colorado. Just for emergencies, and we can just throw one of those over gear if we want to cover stuff up with it. So after looking at the diagrams, this flat part goes toward the back, this tapered part, or this kind of pointed part, I don't know what angle this is, but whatever angle this is, goes toward the front. So this points toward the front. And then this, of course, just sets right here. We'll bolt that on like that. And then this bracket sits on top. Takes a few bolts to get that on. Okay, it definitely looks like a couple bolts are missing. We've got 3, 6, 9, 12 of these short ones, 2 of the long ones, 2 of the medium ones, and we're 2 short. And so, you know, this bracket's going to take 4 here, 2 here, that's 6. So that's 12 of these short ones on the other side. So we've got to find a bolt that'll go from here into the coat hanger bolt hole. But right now, guys, I'm not tightening anything down. I'm just going to kind of put these together. That way there's a lot of slop in place. We can get them adjusted perfectly. Once we get them adjusted where we want them, then we can screw them down. And the pictures just show the bolts going on the bottom. And these are lock nuts rather. They're lock nuts, nylon lock nuts, so that's nice. All right, now here we're working on the right side. This is the upper bracket, and this part of this goes on the window side of the actual frame. Okay, we'll get this kind of shorter of the long bolts. That'll go like that, okay? And hopefully we can get this in place pretty easily. Okay, that feels like it's threading up. Now we'll get the long bolt on the long spacer. Now, of these three, the screw is the longest. I don't think we're going to need that. That leaves the silver one and the black one. But really, this kind of goes right up against that. I bet this black one will be plenty long. Yeah, that's a few turns. Nice and tight. Good deal. Now, this is just a little 12 volts impact, and I'm just using this to kind of run them down. I'll still hand tighten them, but this is probably not something we want to use the impact on necessarily, or especially heavy duty impact. Just like that. Oh yeah, that black one, even though it's the shortest, that was plenty turns, and it's nice and tight there now. Okay. Okay guys, that is pretty solid. Wow. It's just this little piece of plastic that pulls down. There's our bolt. Now it might be a little easier to hang it with this one first. Okay, that was way easier supporting it from the top first, and these were way easier to get in then. Okay, so I went ahead and snugged this top one. I'm going to snug this one first, just because this pulls it straight back. And then this one over here, as it tightens down, this might slide underneath the bolt. So I think this one's going to be the least movable one, though. So let's snug this one down first. All right. I'm pretty happy with that.